Florida just quietly changed the rules again, and if you are retired or planning to retire in the Sunshine State, your bank account is directly in the crosshairs. There are new property tax laws on the books right now, laws that most people have not heard about yet, that could either save you thousands of dollars a year or cost you a fortune if you miss the deadline. This isn't about saving a few bucks on your grocery bill. We are talking about tens of thousands of dollars in lost wealth over the course of your retirement if you don't act immediately. Before we dive into the specific forms you need to file and the dates you need to circle in red on your calendar, make sure you hit that subscribe button for Tax Hack Pro. We track the tax law changes that the mainstream news ignores so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. Imagine finding out a year from now that you overpaid your property taxes by $2,000 simply because you didn't know about a single checkbox on a form. That money is gone forever. You can't get it back. The county isn't going to write you a refund check because you didn't know. But here is the good news. I am going to walk you through every major change affecting Florida retirees. We are going to cover the new exemption limits, the expanded eligibility rules, and the strict deadlines that, if missed, will lock you out of savings for an entire year. Whether you have lived in Florida since the 1980s or you just closed on your condo last week, the next 10 minutes are the most profitable investment you will make today. Let's start with the cornerstone of Florida property tax relief, the homestead exemption. If you own a home in Florida and it is your primary residence, this is non-negotiable. This is the base layer of protection that shields you from the full weight of the tax assessor. Here is how it works. The homestead exemption reduces the assessed value of your home by up to $50,000. The first $25,000 of that exemption applies to all property taxes, including school district taxes. The second $25,000 applies to the assessed value between $50,000 and $75,000, and it covers everything except school district taxes. It sounds a bit technical, but the math is simple. It lowers your tax bill. Depending on your local millage rate, this one form saves the average homeowner between $750 and $1,500 every single year. In high-tax counties like Miami-Dade or Broward, the savings can be even higher, sometimes exceeding $2,000 annually. Over a 20-year retirement, that is $30,000 to $40,000 of wealth that stays in your pocket instead of going to the county. But you have to qualify, and Florida is getting stricter about checking. To qualify, you must be a permanent resident of Florida as of January 1st of the tax year. You must own the property and use it as your primary residence. You cannot rent it out for long periods, and you absolutely cannot claim a similar tax break in another state. If you have a homestead in New York or Michigan and try to claim one in Florida too, the property appraiser will find out. They have sophisticated databases now that cross-reference property records nationwide. If you get caught double-dipping, you will face back taxes, a 50% penalty, and 15% interest. It is not worth it. However, the application process has improved. Most counties now allow you to file for homestead online. You don't have to drive to the county seat and wait in line anymore. You can upload your Florida driver's license, your vehicle registration, and your voter ID card from your living room. But here is the secret weapon that comes with homestead. The exemption is great, but the real value, the thing that builds massive wealth over time, is the Save Our Homes cap. If you are new to Florida, pay attention. This is the most powerful tax law in the state. Once you have your homestead exemption in place, the Save Our Homes amendment kicks in. This constitutional protection caps the annual increase in your home's assessed value at just 3% per year, or the Consumer Price Index, CPI, whichever is lower. Think about what has happened to Florida real estate prices in the last 5 years. In many areas, home values have doubled. Without Save Our Homes, your property tax bill would have doubled too. You might have been forced to sell because you couldn't afford the taxes. But with Save Our Homes, your tax value is locked down. Even if your neighbor's house is worth $1 million, your assessed value might only be $500,000 because it has been capped at that 3% growth rate year after year. The gap between your market value and your assessed value represents tax savings that compound annually. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say you bought a house in 2018 for $300,000. Today, that house might sell for $600,000, but because of the cap, the tax assessor can only tax you on a value of maybe $350,000. That difference, that $250,000 of untaxed value, saves you $4,000 to $5,000 a year. This is why long-term residents pay so much less than their new neighbors. It is a reward for staying put. But what if you want to move? This is the number one question I get from retirees. I have all this built-up savings in my current home. If I downsize to a condo or move closer to the grandkids, do I lose it all? Do I have to start overpaying market rate taxes? For years, the answer was yes. You were trapped in your home by your tax savings, but Florida fixed this with a law called portability. And if you're thinking about moving, understanding portability is critical. Portability allows you to transfer your accumulated, save our homes, benefit to a new property. You can transfer up to $500,000 of that protected value to your new home. This is huge. Here is how the math works. If you are upsizing to a more expensive home, you can transfer 100% of your savings, up to the $500,000 cap. If you are downsizing to a less expensive home, you can transfer a percentage of your savings. Let's say your current home has a market value of $500,000, but an assessed value of $300,000 because you've lived there for a decade. That is a $200,000 benefit. If you buy a new home for $400,000, you can apply that $200,000 benefit to the new house. Instead of being taxed on $400,000, you are taxed on $200,000. You just cut your new tax bill in half, instantly. But there are traps. You have to follow the rules exactly. And this is where people get hurt. The biggest trap is the timeline. You have to establish your new homestead within 3 tax years of abandoning your old one. If you sell your house on January 1st, 2024, you have until January 1st, 2027 to claim portability on a new home. If you wait one day too long, the benefit evaporates. It's gone forever. Another trap, you have to apply for it. Portability is not automatic. When you file for homestead on your new house, there is a separate section or a separate form, Form Dr. 501T, for portability. If you forget to check that box, you don't get the savings. If you want to stay ahead of these deadlines and know exactly when to file, subscribe to Tax Hack Pro. We send out alerts when tax seasons open so you never miss a critical date. Now let's talk about the specific benefits for seniors, because Florida knows that retirees vote, and they have carved out some incredible exemptions just for people over 65. First, there is the additional senior exemption. If you are 65 or older, you might qualify for an extra $50,000 off your assessed value. This stacks on top of your regular homestead exemption. So instead of $50,000 off, you get $100,000 off. However, unlike the regular homestead exemption, this one has an income limit. It is designed for low to moderate income seniors. The income threshold adjusts annually for inflation. For 2024, the household income limit was roughly $36,600. This is adjusted gross income, not just taxable income, so it includes wages, interest, and dividends. Social Security is treated a bit differently, so you need to check the specific calculation on the property appraiser's worksheet. If you qualify, this can save you another $500 to $1,000 a year. But again, you have to ask for it. It usually requires submitting an income statement, Form Dr. 501SC, by March 1st. But wait, there is more. This is the part that most people miss entirely. Florida allows counties to offer their own additional senior exemptions. This is separate from the state program. Some counties have higher income limits. Some have different age requirements. Some have long-term resident exemptions where, if you have lived in your home for 25 years or more, and your property value is under $250,000, the county will eliminate your property taxes entirely. Yes, zero taxes. You have to check your specific county's website. Don't assume that because your friend in Orlando didn't qualify, you won't qualify in Tampa. The rules vary by jurisdiction. Call the property appraiser's office and ask, what local option senior exemptions do you have? Now, let's look at the exemptions for veterans and first responders. Florida is extremely generous to those who served, and the benefits here can be life-changing. If you are a veteran with a combat-related disability, you get a discount on your taxes equal to your disability percentage. If you are 10% disabled due to combat, you get 10% off your assessed value. But the big one, the golden ticket of property tax exemptions, is for veterans with a 100% total and permanent service-connected disability. If the VA rates you as 100% permanently disabled, you pay zero property taxes in Florida. Zero. This isn't a deferral. It isn't a partial discount. Your tax bill is wiped out completely. You still have to pay non-ad valorem assessments like garbage collection fees or stormwater fees, but the actual property tax is gone. And here is a crucial update. This benefit extends to surviving spouses. If a veteran who qualified for this exemption passes away, their spouse can keep the exemption for as long as they live in the home and do not remarry. This provides incredible financial security for widows and widowers of veterans. There are also similar full exemptions for first responders, police, fire, EMT, who are totally and permanently disabled in the line of duty, and for their surviving spouses if they were killed in the line of duty. Even if you aren't a veteran, if you are totally and permanently disabled, quadriplegia, paraplegia, blindness, etc., there are significant exemptions available. Some require income tests, others do not. You will need physician certifications, Form DR-416, but the savings are worth the paperwork. Now, let's talk about the widow/widower exemption. It's small, usually $500 off the assessed value, but it saves you about $10 to $15 a year. Hey, money is money. If your spouse has passed away and you have not remarried, make sure you check that box on the application. Blindness exemptions, disability exemptions for civilians, there is a laundry list of potential savings. The key is to stack them. You can have homestead, plus the additional senior exemption, plus a disability exemption, plus the widow's exemption. When you combine them all, you can whittle your tax bill down significantly. But none of this matters if you miss the deadline. In Florida, there is one date that rules them all, March 1st. March 1st is the statutory deadline to file for all property tax exemptions for the current tax year. Homestead, senior, veteran, disability, portability, all of it. If you moved into your home on December 31st, you have until March 1st to file. If you miss that date, you are out of luck for the entire year. You will pay full taxes without caps, without discounts. You can try to file a late file petition, but you have to prove extenuating circumstances, like hospitalization or a death in the family, and it is up to the property appraiser's discretion to accept it. Do not rely on their mercy. File on time. Also, remember the January 1st rule. Your status is determined as of January 1st. If you turn 65 on January 2nd, you have to wait until the next year to claim the senior exemption. If you buy a house on January 2nd, you can't claim homestead on it for that year, though you might inherit the previous owner's exemption for 1 year, which is a whole other topic we cover in another video. So what is your action plan right now? Step 1. Verify your homestead status. Go to your county property appraiser's website right now. Look up your address. Does it say HX or homestead? Yes. If not, and it is your primary home, you have work to do immediately. Step 2. Check your assessment differential. Look at your market value versus your assessed value. Is there a gap? That is your Save Our Homes protection. If you plan to move, write that number down. That is the amount you can potentially port to a new home. Step 3. Review the additional exemptions list. Are you over 65? Did your income drop last year? Did you receive a new disability rating from the VA? Did your spouse pass away? Any life change is a trigger to check for new tax breaks. Step 4. Mark March 1st on every calendar you own. Set a reminder on your phone for mid-February to ensure everything is submitted. The property appraiser wants you to file online. It is faster, safer, and gives you a digital receipt. Use the online portal if you can. Florida is a tax haven for retirees, but only if you play by the rules. The system rewards those who are informed and proactive. It punishes those who assume the government will handle it. The government will happily handle your money if you don't claim it. Don't let the complexity scare you. The forms are standard, the rules are clear, and the savings are massive. If you found this breakdown helpful, please share it with your friends and neighbors. There are too many seniors in Florida struggling to pay bills who don't realize they are sitting on a goldmine of tax exemptions. And remember, tax laws change. Legislatures meet every year and tweak the rules. Income limits adjust. Deadlines shift. The only way to stay safe is to stay informed. That is why you need to subscribe to Tax Hack Pro. We don't just cover Florida. We cover tax strategies for retirees across the entire country. Whether it is federal tax changes, Social Security updates, or property tax hacks, we are your watchdog. Leave a comment below. Are you claiming all your exemptions? Did you know about portability? Let me know your experience with the Florida property tax system. I read every comment and try to answer as many questions as I can. March 1st is coming fast. Don't wait. Get your paperwork in order, claim your rightful savings, and enjoy your retirement in the Sunshine State. I'll see you in the next video.